So AOC was on CNN with Jake Tapper on Sunday morning, I believe it was, and I thought the interview was very fascinating. So I wanted to kind of just give my thoughts on it. So the first question from Jake Tapper was, "How much does Biden owe progressives?" Now, her answer was, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing because they'll probably try to take it down, but you can find it easily on Twitter. It's like a maybe 5 to 10 minute interview, if that. It's less than 10 minutes, I think, but fascinating nonetheless. So, the first question was, how much does Biden owe progressives? And to which she kind of explained a lot, and I will go into a little bit and why later, because there's multiple questions that deal with this, and I have some data to back this up. But she basically said that a lot of people, especially in Georgia and the places, Minnesota, all those places, the progressive ideas are the ones that passed, and I mean, are the ones that got people out to move, very specifically in Georgia, and that's what everybody's talking about now because of the runoffs that are going to happen there in January. But nevertheless, that was pretty much her answer. She talked about because they got people out to vote. And there's no secret that progressive ideas motivate the base. I mean, that's why Bernie Sanders is so popular, because those ideas are popular and it motivates people to come out and vote. So that was basically, that was that answer to that question. And then the next question, of course, was, Kamala Harris being the first woman VP. So that's kind of a symbolic thing. So you can pretty much guess what her answer was to that. So I'm not gonna go too much into that. But she was asked, and then she got asked about the fact that there will be a Senate, the Republican Senate, most likely, unless they win those seats in Georgia, and how she plans to pass progressive legislation, if she's going to talk to Republicans or whatever. Basically, her answer was, I'm going to focus on winning in Georgia, so I don't have to, essentially, so we don't have to deal with Republicans. The problem being, of course, that a lot of centrist Democrats that are still in the House and in the Senate, you're still going to have to get it past them. So, I mean, there's that. But, yeah, that was pretty much her answer to that she's going to work to try to get the Georgia Senate elected. And I forget what their names are off the top of my head. I've seen it all over Twitter the past couple days. But, yeah, she's going to try to work to get those people elected. So there's a 50-50, which would be, of course, it's kind of on par with how America is these days. But then she got asked about the Abigail Spanberger, I believe is her name. I think that's what it says here, Spanberger, who was on, I think it was like a call with other representatives of something. But she basically said that, socialism is the reason why all those House Senates collapsed. To which AOC had to explain to Miss Spanberger that no House candidate ran on socialism, no House candidate ran on defund the police, and it kind of, this is me, and she kind of talked about how, like, those are Republican messages that they're sending that, they're falling for, and she's right. I mean, look at it. Joe Biden was the candidate, and they called him a socialist. So to me, that says, if it was Pete Buttigieg, if it was, Elizabeth Warren, if it was Tom Steyer was the nominee, if it was Bloomberg, they'd still run the same socialism bad message. So I get what she's saying there, and especially because I think she does bring it up later. Yeah, I mean, she does bring it up later, but I think this is the best point. I'm going to bring this, if I remember, I'll put it in the video, but I'm going to bring this sheet up that not only did every member of the House who was running on Medicare for All win their election, but they won it in swing districts. And for example, you can see some of this. I mean, you look at specifically, where are we? Yeah, so I mean, they're not great distances. Like, for example, I think the most is like 2. Yeah, oh no, the most is 3 for Katie Porter. She won her race, even though she ran on, and she's in a mostly Republican district. So to say that the socialism message, that the progressive message, is the reason that they lost so many seats, it's not. I mean, a lot of these seats are people, like a lot of the people that lost on this sheet are centrist Democrats who are basically Republicans. I mean, that's it's such a false narrative, and this is the other thing, and I mentioned a little bit in my other video, where right after the election, John Kasich was talking about how going left would destroy the Democratic Party. I'm sorry, we shouldn't be the Democrats shouldn't be taking advice from from a Republican and to go forward. That's just me, but. I think that was the last question she was asked. Oh no, she was asked about the division, because she had mentioned that she almost didn't run again because apparently the caucus in the House is very divided, and I guess they kind of see progressive ideas as bad and argumentative in the House. Of course, I don't know anything about that, but basically, her answer to that was, it just feels like the progressives have a lot to offer, and that they're not being taken up on that, and they're not, they're not being leaned upon to make to use their assets to help the party, and that's true. And let's be honest, there were times during the primary where I felt like they fought Bernie Sanders harder than they fought Trump. And I think that's 100% true in the state of the party. And I mean, we'll see what happens with Biden's cabinet, but they already said that they weren't going to take anybody from the Senate, so that takes Bernie and Warren off the list. But yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that interview right now. I was listening to it today a couple times, and I just wanted to make a video on it, and because I think it was a great interview, and I think she did great. It also made me realize how paper some of these interviewers are in mainstream media, because he just asked the question, moved on to the next one. There was no follow up or expanding upon certain aspects, so it was very weird. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure that's a mainstream media thing. I don't watch a lot of mainstream media, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Wanted to throw my 2 cents on it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, and I'll probably have another video up tomorrow.